Hello, everyone. This is Sunstar and Spirit with your Timeless Tarot and Oracle card messages. Just remember, so viewer, these messages are timeless, so they should resonate for the most part. If they don't worry. There could be another video out there for you, or one of my other videos may find you when it is ready. So let's get into it. Let's see, what deck should I pick? I have all these. For some reason, I was hearing that I needed to get all of my decks out, so they are all out. Let's see which one. I really think it's this one. So this is the Celtic Tree Oracle. Let's see what messages we have for the viewer. For the viewer. Top one. Okay. We have the ash tree. Nyun is how you pronounce that. The Ogham character. And so the ash tree is actually the tree of life. The Norse tree of life is the ash tree. And the ash tree actually is a reminder for us that when we do healing, any kind of healing work, it's not just us that we're healing in the present. We're also connected. We're connected to the past and we're connected to the future. So through our ancestors and our ancestral lineage, we are all connected. So when we heal ourselves, we actually heal our ancestors and our future lineage. So if that is resonating for you, viewer, and I hope it is, then this reading should be yours. So let's see what else we need to do here. Okay. What else do we need for the viewer? What else does the viewer need to know right now? Empress. Okay. So I'm really feeling like this has a lot to do with, female lineage, because of the Empress energy coming through there. Empress energy is all about that, the Divine Mother, the nurturing. She is the embodiment of all of the queens in the tarot. And a lot of the time she's associated with pregnancy. She's associated with like mothering, and that type of stuff. So it's interesting that we have this sort of like this healing with the Ash card coming up with the Ash Ogham, and then the Empress. So I really feel like there's a female lineage connection here. What else, Spirit? What else about this healing that's taking place for the viewer from the past into the future? You may have just found out that you're expecting. If you're not expecting, maybe this has to do with something that you're seeing happening with your children. We have the Hermit card, right? So there is a little bit of that spiritual awakening energy coming through. So I really feel, viewer, that you have been working on doing some of your healing work. And it's starting to become obvious to you that this healing work is really, really important, not just for you, but for also previous generations. And I feel like, tied to the mother side, the maternal side, that it's not just her, it goes like much further back. And you're just sort of discovering this. Like this is something that you didn't really realize, but you've recently talked to some family members and some things have come to light. And it's sort of like just now coming to this, there's things coming to the surface that you realize, that you're discovering, that you realize that you're the one who has been tasked, right, with doing this energetic healing of your maternal lineage. So really interesting stuff here. So what else do we have for the viewer? What else? An Ancestor Oracle card, Ancestor Spirit Oracle. What do they have to say? Because I really feel like they have a message for you, since we're talking all about them. Just healing into the past, present, and future. Let's see. What else? Okay. Being open to love, relationships, passion, fulfillment. So I feel like, viewer, that you are, starting to realize that you can be open to love. Um, but the thing is I feel like it's more like for love of yourself. Because in this reading so far, I'm getting like, here's this Empress, she's by herself. Here's the Hermit, spending a lot of time by themselves, right? That's the whole the hermit thing, right? Then we have this one very happy, proud woman who is open to love, but she doesn't need anybody else, right? Like her relationships are by choice. And she doesn't actually need them, but she's choosing them, right? What else? Okay, one of these. So that's interesting. So I really feel like, either you've been on your own for a while, or recently um, have discovered that you don't need to have a partner all the time. Um, so fun. So the cat spirit wanted to come out. Independence, healthy boundaries. So again, viewer, strong messages here. Basically, you can do it on your own. I've got the number 9 coming through. Um, so not only that, I have the number 9 coming through with the hermit, and I have the number 9 coming through with the cat card. So this is like definitely spending a lot of time on your own, and finding your strength in that alone time, right? Like you don't need to be always mothering and nurturing everybody else. This is about you finding the nurturing for yourself, right? And because you're going to find that nurturing for yourself and healing yourself, it's going to go and heal your lineage in the past, your ancestors. So they're really they're really hoping for you to get the message here. They want you to do some healing on your own solo, without the influence of other people, other relationships, concerns, with being the mom for everybody. It's like, I'm getting like that it's time to take care of yourself. It's time to put yourself first, and really take care of you. What else? One of these. So I guess they want you to have a truth bomb, because this is just it's like you already know this, but it's not sunken in yet. You don't realize how important this work is, to find out that you can be on your own. I'm really feeling like you've had a lot of influence on your maternal side, of like women who were always very dependent on their men, or dependent on a partner, whoever that may be, and that they just never found their own self-love, right? Because they were always worried about fulfilling that role of being there for someone else. And you're the first one that's kind of, proudly stepping forward and saying, I don't need to do that. I don't need to depend on anybody. It's kind of like, it could be a hard road to spend time alone like that. And that's why, people are, a lot of people pair off, right? Even if they're unhappy, and they stay that way forever. so so you're doing the work to heal, right? For now, for the past, for the future. So let's see what we got from the Rebel deck. Okay, so it says you got a feeling you just can't shake. That little voice inside you, listen to that. Shh. Okay. So there's something inside of you, and it's like you're not going to be able to hear it unless you're spending time on your own. Okay. So you've got to take that time on your own, to really focus on you and healing yourself, getting those spiritual messages, that are meant for you, because I really feel like you're very in tune with this. And this is why you've been on this path. It's not that you just suddenly chosen this path. You kind of knew that you were on this path for a long time. Um, and some of us just have to learn that we have to accept, what we were made to do, what we're here to do, right? Like we have our own personal path to fulfill, um, in our lives, and yours just happens to be this lone path, basically. And part of this is healing, right? For your ancestors, for the future. And it is. So I think even though there's a lot of people outside of you telling you that you need to do something different, the real message that you're getting, which is like that little voice inside of you that's saying, yeah, you've got this, doing this on your own, you got it covered, you don't need anybody else, right? Listen to that stuff, right? What else for the viewer? One of these finally? What else for the viewer? This one, okay. Temperance. So I think you'll be doing this for a little while, viewer. This you're kind of like in the middle of this process right now. So I think that even if you're asking yourself, like, how much longer is this going to be? I'm getting the number 5 again. So I really feel like you're kind of midstream here. So, temperance is 1 and 4, that's 5. The ash card is also the Ogham, the 5th Ogham, right? So 5, we got 5s. Um, so for me, that's kind of like you, from the very beginning of life, it's like you knew that you had this task. And you're about midstream here, right? Like, so you're midway through, you're spending this time alone. I think it's a little bit of a new thing still for you in some ways. Like, not that you've been alone um your whole life, but that it's kind of new. It's just that you always knew that you would end up here, right? You kind of always knew that you were going to have to figure out how to sort of like transition emotionally from being with somebody all the time to being on your own, and that it was important not just for you but for others in your family to see you doing this, right? Because it's not just your mom, your grandma, your, so on and so on. It's like the females in your whole family are very much like sort of sucked into this whole I need to be with another person to be a complete person, and you are just trailblazing and showing them how it's done to be on your own, and to be, you're still open to love. It's not that you're resisting being with anybody. It's just that you're okay being on your own, right? And I really love this cat spirit. It's just kind of like, I do my own thing. And when I need somebody, I will seek them out, right? When you need somebody, you will seek them out. And the cat, if anybody has ever owned a cat, they don't necessarily enjoy when you approach them for affection. But when they want affection, they will seek you out, and they'll make themselves known. What else? Let's see what else for the viewer. Okay. What else? The thicket of thorns, uncertainty. So, viewer, I mean, this message has been very clear. Okay. The message is very clear. This is part of your work. And, you know, I'm, I know that it can be lonely sometimes, right? When you're on your own, but don't be uncertain. There's a very clear message here, right? You're doing something that you're supposed to be doing. You're on the right path. If you were just waiting to find out if you were on the right path or not, I'm here to tell you that you are. It might be a little bit difficult, right? Like, you're spending all this time, you're the hermit, and that's not always easy. Um, but I feel like you're really feeling like you're being guided, right? See, there's light here, even though it's like this, you feel like you don't really have too many directions to go in. There's like this light here shining down on you, and it's like you're on the right track, right? They're leading you the right direction, even though everything around you is scary and could be painful. And you're surrounded by that energy. Just keep moving forward, because it's going to be beautiful at the end of this path. Okay. So that's really important for you to hear. What else? One of these. So I'll get a couple more for you, viewer. What else? Let's see what else the viewer needs to know. And then we can find out if is there a potential outcome that we can let the viewer know about. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Be calm and anchor your energy. So, yeah, I mean, if you're feeling uncertain, like that thicket of thorns, then all you need to do is take a minute and anchor yourself, right? Get in touch with your roots and grounding, um, getting close to the earth. I mean, really getting more of that temperance energy here. Hopefully you are too, if you see that. This is like a very, very specific message. You're spending time on your own. It needs to happen for you to understand a particular lesson here, that you can do it on your own. You don't need anybody else to lead your way. You know your path, viewer. So, what about a potential outcome for the viewer? Let's see. What's your potential outcome for the viewer? Oh, a bunch of cards just wanted to fall right out. Empress energy, and what's right behind it? Oh, yep, here's the Temperance card again. So, viewer, clear message. Oh, this other one too. Princess of Swords. Okay. So just I would say be careful with some of this. So your potential outcome is a lot of this Empress energy, a lot of this temperance energy. So it's like you're healing your maternal lineage, okay? It's going to take some time on your own doing this stuff. And every single card here is a single person. So it's very interesting to me how clear this is, right? So, we started out with understanding that we have some healing to do for our female lineage, right? With the Empress card, with the Celtic Triolum Ash. We've got the Hermit, and then being open to love. So it's not that you've closed yourself off, it's just something that you have to do to feel healed. Okay. You need some time to do that. And, being independent, setting the boundaries properly. Don't let anybody else into your space until you are ready to set the proper boundaries, right? And Temperance card is telling you that it's going to take some time. You're going to have to be patient with this journey because you haven't quite figured out exactly what the whole purpose of all of this is. But it's you're on the right path, is what the point is. No matter what the other people around you are saying, listen to your own inner voice. Don't listen to these other people because they're not walking your path, right? You're walking your path. So whatever they have to say, you can kind of just say, oh, thanks for the advice, or oh, I don't want to hear your advice. Um, and sometimes it feels like we're not on the right track, but we are, because it's a very clear message here, viewer. Very clear message that you are to be spending some time in that hermit, temperance, patience, energy. Um, and then they just, they throw them back out again at me here. Empress, temperance, same thing. Okay, so they really want you to hear this message, viewer. So I hope you found this because these messages are for you. So my last thing I will say, potential outcome. It's just that basically you don't want to let yourself start to feel bitter. Okay, so once you start to feel like this is becoming too much, right? Like this lonesome path that you're on, don't let it turn you into somebody who is going to start um, talking about others. If they're in relationships and you're not, and you're healthy and you're feeling good, doesn't mean that they're not healthy and happy and feeling good in their relationship, right? So if you start seeing relationships as something as a negative, then you're missing the lesson. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. You're missing the lesson if you get to that point. So, as long as you are understanding that this is just your path, okay, not everybody else needs this journey the way you do. So don't judge others for the fact that they are in a relationship and maybe it's a difficult one. They might not be happy, but even if they are or aren't, it's not up to you to judge whether or not they should be experiencing their relationship, right? We all have our own purpose to fulfill and our own goals to reach, our own lessons to learn, and they're all different. Right. So you can't really put judgment on somebody because they're in a relationship and, you're thinking you're doing the smarter thing and, doing your thing, but it's okay. All right. It's just for you. It's for you, viewer. Okay. So I hope this is helpful. Take care.